We have the most beautiful world, which provides all the resources we need to sustain us and fill us with wonder at the beauty all around us. However, we each have a duty to look after our world, our own environment, because without thought, care, and action, this can be destroyed. But just how fragile is our wonderful world? Listen to this poem by Brian Patton. What or who do you think the newcomer might be? There's something new in the river, the fish said as it swam. It's got no scales, no fins, and no gills, and ignores the impassable dam. There's something new in the trees, I heard a bloated thrush sing. It's got no beak, no claws, and no feathers, and not even the ghost of a wing. There's something new in the warren, said the rabbit to the doe. It's got no fur, no eyes, and no paws, yet digs further than we dare to go. There's something new in the whiteness, said the snow-white polar bear. I saw its shadow on a glacier, but it left no paw marks there. Throughout the animal kingdom, the news was spreading fast. No beak, no claws, no feather, no scales, no fur, no gills. It lives in the trees and the water, in the soil and the snow and the hills, and it kills, and it kills, and it kills. Finite world resources. Sometimes the problems worldwide feel so big that they are out of our control. We hear about carbon footprint, CO2 gas emissions, the melting of the polar ice caps, droughts and starvation in poorer countries, oil and coal being depleted, forests being destroyed, animals in danger of extinction, seas being ruined with plastic waste, debris and oil spills, rivers being clogged with rubbish and chemical waste. It's good to know that countries meet worldwide to make decisions about how to save our planet. Agreements and targets are made to ensure that damage is limited and resources are spent to ensure that we replace what we use and find alternative ways of living. One example of this is the move from petrol and diesel cars to electric cars. This has been encouraged by governments as petrol and diesel will eventually be depleted. You may have seen that more and more public areas, like shopping centres, have a place where electric cars can be charged. In the United Kingdom, the aim is that by 2035, the selling of new petrol and diesel cars will be banned. Similarly, you may have seen in the news that there are major concerns about the use of plastics, as these materials do not degrade very quickly and therefore pollute the environment. They can be especially dangerous to wildlife, particularly those who live in water. Many companies have made changes to help. Have you noticed, for example, that you rarely get a plastic straw with your drink? These have been replaced with paper straws, which do far less damage to the environment. Little things matter. So, we've heard about what governments and large companies can do to help, but what can we do to care for the world? Perhaps surprisingly, it's actually the little things that matter. For example, if everyone in your school ensures that you would not drop litter, your own close environment would be so much better in an instant. How much could you save at home and at school if you remember to turn off lights and equipment when they're not in use? What if your family turned down the heating by a degree or two and remember to keep doors and windows closed if the heating is on? It takes everybody to do their bit. But think how effective it could be if everyone in school, in every school, made a small effort. There are over 32,000 schools in the United Kingdom. Pupils and students have a powerful role to play in the protection of the environment. Greta Thunberg. Greta Tintin Eleonora Ernman Thunberg was born in Sweden on the 3rd of January 2003 and has become famous as an environmental activist. She's gained international recognition for promoting the view that humanity is facing a crisis arising from climate change. Thunberg is known for her youth and her straightforward speaking manner, both in public and to political leaders and assemblies, in which she criticises world leaders for their failure to take sufficient action to address the climate crisis.
This is an emergency. People are already suffering and dying from the consequences of the climate and environmental emergency. But it will get worse. Well, I will not stand aside and watch. I will not be silent while the world is on fire. Will you?
The 17-year-old from Sweden addressed the crowd for less than 5 minutes, but there was no denying her impact.
World leaders are behaving like children, so it falls on us to be the adults in the room.
Pupils and protesters had travelled from cities including Manchester, Cardiff and Birmingham.
I'm worried about lots of animals that live in cold places, like polar bears, for example. There's only one world. If we destroy it all, then we have no other place to live. Right now, we are not acting. We should act now. There is no planet B, and also this is our future.
What did you think about Greta when she spoke? Did you manage to see her?
Yeah.
What do you think about Greta?
She's really inspiring.
In a city which is considering banning diesel cars and where airport expansion was just rejected, it's perhaps no surprise that Greta Thunberg chose here to attend her first UK school strike.
Greta may well be preaching to the converted here, but experts say it is the science which proves we all need to act.
The climate science about man-made climate change is very robust. So a lot of detection and attribution studies have found that human-induced climate change and our emissions of greenhouse gases has made some extreme weather events such as heat waves and sometimes storms more likely.
This is a city that has taken Greta and her cause to heart. But it's those in power, she says, continue to ignore the climate emergency.
Worldwide campaigners. For a number of years, groups have developed to campaign for our environmental protection. In the United Kingdom alone, there are over 50 groups looking after the many different interests of nature. These include the following: Canal and River Trust, the Centre for Alternative Technology, Friends of the Earth, Groundworks Trust, Greenpeace, Keep Britain Tidy, Plant a Tree Today. There are even groups for the conservation of bats and the Earthworm Society of Britain. It would be well worth researching and even joining one of these groups so that you can do your bit to save and protect our wonderful world. A Native American saying: "We do not inherit the earth from our ancestors, we borrow it from our children."